Primarina is finally back in the Indigo Disk DLC, and it brings a new toy with it. If you didn't know, Primarina gets the move Flip Turn, which is a brilliant move for a slow, bulky water type like Primarina. Albeit, we don't utilize it much this game. Instead, Primarina shows you why it's easily the best of the Alolan starters, hitting like a truck with its massive base 126 special attack stat and great coverage to boot. I'm not gonna lie to you, this battle was amazing. Some questionable plays here and there, Reuniclus and Corviknight, but we don't talk about that. But it was honestly anyone's game. Here are the teams. Let me know who you think will win in the comments section down below, and stick around till the end to find out if you're right. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the battle. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun, Gazero. So they're going to lead off with Amoonguss, which ain't really that good for us, as we lead off with Monroe, the shiny Primarina. Gotta love it. So the reason I led with Primarina is because it does really well against their entire team. Now, if they led with Staraptor, I'd be in a bit of a pickle, but I can go Corviknight. However, I'm going to have to flip turn all over this Amoonguss right now, because we don't want to get spored, that's for sure. So we'll go for a flip turn, get a bit of chip damage off, and we'll get on out of there. So I could have gone for an Ice Beam there, but I'd rather not. It's not worth it, really. So let's see what we can do here. I'm leaning towards Indeedee, get that Psychic Terrain up, get a Reuniclus in afterwards. That's what I'm leaning towards, because they're going to go for a Spore here, and I don't have a Spore switch in. I do not have a Spore switch in, so I am going to go Indeedee. Indeedee seems like the perfect Pokemon to go into. Sets up the Psychic Terrain, or like, see if we can get his little hand behind its back like a butler. So cute. I love Indeedee. It's such a cool Pokemon. They do go for the Spore, though, which is obviously going to put us to sleep, so Indeedee is not a threat, per se. But now, we're in a very good position where they can set up on us, sure. But I can just go into Reuniclus now, and because we're playing by Smogon rules, they can't put us to sleep. There's a sleep clause, which means if the other person's party, one of them is asleep, you can't continue to then put them to sleep. So they go for a Pollen Puff, which is going to do a lot of damage to us. But we can now go for an Expanding Force, and nothing on their team can switch in unless they outspeed us and KO us with a Pollen Puff. Which case I'm flubbergasted. I did not know Amoonguss outsped Reuniclus like that. I did not know. So I guess Plan B, Blaziken. So let's go Blaziken real quick. And Blaziken's actually really good here. So Blaziken, if you didn't know, is one of them Pokemon where it's not really that. It's good, but it's not as good as it used to be. You know, it used to be Uber's material. Now it's like UUBL. So it's still banned. It's just not banned from OU. So let's go for that Flare Blitz anyway. There's no real reason not to. They do withdraw. They're definitely going to go Zamazenta or Cinderace or Landorus. They do go Landorus, which is fair enough. Landorus is a good switch. It's going to get that Intimidate off, which is always nice. And we just go straight for a Flare Blitz on the Landorus's face, which is going to sting a little bit, but not quite do enough damage. So we do get the Burn, which is very nice. Very nice. I'm glad I went for that over the Brave Bird. And we're going to stand if they want Rocky Helmet, which turns out they don't have Rocky Helmet at all. They actually don't have what they don't have anything really. I don't think they have anything really. So now that we know that this thing's in and it's not Rocky Helmet, so it's probably something else. We're probably going to see a Stealth Rocks here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in, because here's the thing, right? I could go Corviknight. I'm going to go Corviknight. Let's withdraw Blaziken, go Corviknight real quick, just to wall the ever-loving hell out of this Landorus Therian. So there we go, Landorus Therian. Meet your maker, the Corviknight, as they go for an EQ, which is obviously not going to work. Now, they have to switch out here, pretty much. They kind of have to switch out here, but at the same time, they don't. Okay? So they could go for a Stealth Rocks here on our defogging Corviknight, I know. But I want to go for that Brave Bird and get damage off. So they do go for a Stone Edge, which isn't going to hurt us very well. It's not going to hurt us at all, really. Just pitiful damage. We go for Brave Bird, nearly take them out to the point where the Burn is actually going to finish them off. So Landorus goes down to Corviknight. That's brilliant. Corviknight is actually one of the best, it's still like up there as one of the best wall Pokemon in the OU tier right now. And one of the best defoggers as well. It's really good Pokemon. So Larius comes in, which is going to be the Volcarona. So this thing's probably thinking, you know what? We're going to use this opportunity to go for a, what they're going to go for? A Quiver Dance. So I'm going to go for a Brave Bird. I'm really going to go for Brave Bird. They do go for a Fire Blast, though, which is definitely going to take us out. Probably could have played that a little bit better. Probably should have gone straight into Primarina, but you know, it is what it is. Primarina actually does really well against their entire team right now. Actually does really well against their entire team. So I am going to bring it in. There's no real reason not to. I suppose I could go Blaziken Protect, but if they Quiver Dance, then it's GG. So I'm going to bring Primarina in because this forces them to switch out. And I'm going to go ahead and assume they're either going to Terra Grass right now or they go into Amoonguss. So I'm going to go for the Ice Beam real quick. Ice Beam comes through. We outspeed them somehow. And they go for a Whirlwind. Interesting. So they have Whirlwind on their Volcarona. That's an interesting set. So Fire Blast and Whirlwind so far is what we've got from that. So that's pretty awesome. So we get dragged out into our Garchomp, which isn't the worst situation for us to be in the world. The weirdness does disappear, which is going to be great for us. Not really. It doesn't really matter at the moment because we've got no Reuniclus. So I'm leaning towards Swords Dance here, but I'm also leaning towards they're going to fire a Will-O-Wisp my way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into Blaziken, hard Blaziken real quick, because I don't want to get burned. And I don't know what set this Volcarona is. It probably has Will-O-Wisp if they're going to have Whirlwind, right? Probably has Will-O-Wisp and Morning Sun, I'd say. They're going to Terastallize, though. What type are they going into? Probably Fairy, right? I'd say Fairy or Grass. Grass is even better for us because it means we can fire off a Flare Blitz right now. If we can get off a speed boost. So let's see how this works out for us. So they go for a Bug Buzz. So they got Bug Buzz, Whirlwind, Fire Blast, and then probably either Giga Drain or Morning Sun. So, knowing that, I am going to go for a Brave Bird right now because it hits the most amount of Pokemon on their team, and I'll definitely KO the Volcarona because they probably go Zamazenta right now. They probably go Zamazenta. Cinderace comes in. That's even better. That's even better for us because it means we get the Brave Bird off, and then the next turn, we can finish this thing off with a Close Combat because we'll have a Speed Boost. So, there we go. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Let's go for that Close Combat, that CC, and let's get the KO on this Cinderace. Close Combat comes through. I over-predicted big time with that Corviknight on Volcarona. I should not have stayed in there. I really thought they were Quiver Dance, though. I really thought they were Quiver Dance, but, it's just not meant to be. So, anyway, with the Cinderace out of the way, we've got 2 Speed Boosters. We outspeed everything on their team now, including the Staraptor if it's Scarfed. Brazzardia comes in, though, which is going to be the Staraptor. They get the Intimidate off, which is unfortunate. We can still use Blaziken for later because it does really well against the Amoonguss and the likes. And now the Volcarona being a Grass type. So I'm going to go ahead and sack off Indeedee. I think that's the best way to go about this because we don't know what set this thing is. If it doesn't KO Indeedee with Brave Bird right now, or U-turn, then it's not Choice Banded, it's Choice Scarfed. So let's see how this plays out for us. So Psychic Surge comes through. Battlefield gets weird. They go for a Brave Bird. Is it going to KO my Indeedee? It does. So they could well be banded. They could easily be banded right now. The fact that they're Intimidate over Reckless is makes it pretty obvious they're Choice Banded. So what I'm going to do is, I want to go Garchomp, but they've got Zamazenta right there. So is there any point going Garchomp? Probably not. I kind of want to go for it anyway. I feel like Garchomp is the way to go to take care of this Staraptor because I feel like Blaziken's putting in the work this game. So I really feel like it is. So I'm going to go for a Scale Shot now just to get the KO on this thing. There we go. Should KO the Staraptor from there. And that'll give us a nice speed boost and defense drop as well, which is great. So Scale Shot comes through. Only need 4 turns for that Staraptor to go down. There we go. Down it goes. And Garchomp's pulling through for us right now. So the Pokemon gets hit 4 times, which is always nice. Lowering our defenses, but raising our speed in the process is always a fair deal, in my opinion. In comes Amoonguss. So with Indeedee now fainted, they can put something to sleep with Spore. And that probably is going to have to be the Garchomp, to be honest with you. So with that in mind, I want to go for the Scale Shot just to get the maximum amount of damage off. I think I will go for the Scale Shot just to get the maximum amount of damage off. So we'll go for a Scale Shot. We do miss. They swiftly avoid us because that is a fast Mushroom. Go for a Spore. And now we're kind of boned because we didn't get like the residual damage off on the Amoonguss. So that's unfortunate. But what can you do about that? Not a lot, really. So now we've got an opportunity. So I think if they have Pollen Puff, they're probably not going to have Stab. They probably have... No, they might have Sludge Bomb. But because they can't, Spore us, I am going to go into Primarina. I think Primarina is a good one. Because Primarina matches up really well against the Zamazenta, this thing, and the Volcarona. And with that Assault Vest especially is going to help us out a lot. So we'll go into Primarina. They go for the Pollen Puff, which is, of course, going to do Diddly Squat to us. I'm guessing that's their only attacking move. I'm going to go for an Ice Beam, though. So Ice Beam comes through. Should do a lot of damage. Over half, which is what we like to see. as they go for a Giga Drain, which does nothing because of the Assault Vest. So there we go. They do get a bit of health back. Not much. Not to the point where we have to worry about it, as Ice Beam will now KO them. It'll KO the Volcarona, and they can't bring the Zamazenta in because we could easily Moonblast. So Moongus goes down. Primarina is looking like it's doing really well here. Primarina looks like it's doing very well here. Zamazenta comes in. So this thing is in, and it is very terrifying. It's nice and shiny, though. Gotta love it. I love shiny Zamazenta. It's so cool. So, I believe we can live a Body Press, no doubt. Do I believe we can live a Heavy Slam? Now, it's not Stab. I don't see anything else they can attack us with other than Heavy Slam. So, I'm going to go for that Moonblast real quick. They do go for a Metal Burst, but because they are faster, it's not going to work. As we go for a Moonblast and take out the Zamazenta. Amazing. Primarina putting in the work right now. What an absolute legend. The Assault Vest Primarina is actually really good. Like, if it wasn't for that Assault Vest, we would have taken a lot more damage, and they could have gone for a different move there, but no, the Volcarona is going to come in anyway. And this thing, it scares me. We do have the Ice Beam, so I'm going to go for the Ice Beam. We should outspeed as well, as we did earlier. No, they went for a Whirlwind earlier, didn't they? So they go for a Bug Buzz. I'm guessing they don't have Grass Stab with their Terra. They are Life Orb as well. We go for an Ice Beam. Take out that Volcarona, and that's going to be the game. So Primarina ending the game off with a bang. What an absolute legend. What an absolute legend. So Primarina did really well there. GG Gazero. That was a really fun game. I enjoyed that one. But anyway, here is the team. Use the code at the top right corner of the screen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.